My beloved soul, listen carefully. Something quiet has been happening behind the scenes of your life. Something so gentle you almost missed it. Yet so powerful, it is about to shift everything you thought you understood about love, about your person, about yourself. God has been moving in silence, not because nothing was happening, but because what he is preparing is too sacred to be rushed, too deep to be exposed before its time. And right now, in this very moment, your soulmate can feel it. They cannot explain it, they cannot fully understand it. But something inside them is stirring, pulling them toward you in a way they can no longer ignore. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is divine orchestration unfolding exactly when it must. Stay with me, because what is being revealed now will change how you see your love forever. If this message speaks to your heart, comment "I receive this," like this video, and subscribe for more. You have been wondering why things went silent, why the connection that once felt so alive suddenly became distant, confusing, even painful. But what you did not see is that God was stepping in, quietly rearranging both of your hearts. Your soulmate needed to go through something alone, not to leave you, not to forget you, but to understand you, to realize your value in a way they never could when everything was easy. Because sometimes love is not revealed in presence, it is revealed in absence. And during this separation, while you were questioning, while you were hurting, your soulmate was being shown the truth they once avoided. They have been thinking about you more than you realize. In moments when they are alone, when the noise fades, your name comes back to them. Not softly, but persistently. It interrupts their thoughts. It lingers in their heart. They try to distract themselves, but something deeper keeps bringing them back to you. Because what you share is not something the world can replace. It is not something they can forget. And slowly, they are beginning to understand that losing you was never part of their destiny, but learning your worth was. Do not leave yet, because something deeper is unfolding in your love story. There were things your soulmate did not say, feelings they buried, truths they avoided, and now those very things are rising to the surface. Regret is touching their heart in ways they did not expect. Not a heavy, painful regret, but a realization. A soft but undeniable awareness that they mishandled something sacred, that they walked away from something real. And this realization is not coming from guilt, it is coming from God. Because when God moves in silence, he does not just change situations, he transforms hearts. And while this is happening within them, something is also changing within you. You are not the same person you were before this separation. You have grown. You have healed in ways you did not even notice. The pain you felt, it shaped you, but it did not break you. Instead, it refined you. It made your love stronger, your heart deeper, your soul more aligned with what is truly meant for you. And this is exactly why God kept things quiet. Because both of you needed to evolve separately, to become ready for what is coming next. Stay with me, because the truth about your soulmate is about to become clearer than ever before. There are moments when your soulmate feels your energy without even realizing it. They will suddenly feel emotional for no reason. They will think of memories they thought they had forgotten. They will feel a pull, an unexplainable connection that draws them back to you again and again. This is not random. This is spiritual alignment. This is the bond between you activating on a deeper level. Because what God has joined at a soul level cannot be broken by distance, silence, or confusion. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:11, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." And this is your time being prepared in silence, not rushed, not forced, but perfectly aligned. Your soulmate is starting to see things differently now. The way you loved them, the way you understood them, the way you stayed when others would not. These things are no longer invisible to them. They are becoming undeniable. And with that realization comes a shift, a quiet but powerful desire to come back, to fix what was broken, to say what was left unsaid. But listen closely, this is where everything changes. Because God is not just preparing your soulmate to return. He is preparing you to receive. And that means your heart is being strengthened. Your boundaries are being clarified. Your worth is being anchored so deeply that when your soulmate returns, you will not accept confusion anymore. You will accept clarity, truth, and real love. Do not scroll, because what is about to happen next in your connection will surprise you in ways you did not expect. Your soulmate has been holding back something important. Words, emotions, truth. They've been afraid to express what they feel because they did not fully understand it themselves. But that silence, it is breaking. Slowly, quietly, but surely. Because when God moves, He does not leave things incomplete. He brings everything into the light at the right moment. And that moment is approaching faster than you think. There will be a sign, something small but undeniable. A message, a thought, a sudden shift in energy. You will feel it before you see it. Because your soul already knows what is coming. And when it happens, it will not feel forced. It will feel natural. Like something that was always meant to be, finally finding its way back to you. Stay with me, because your soulmate's truth is still unfolding. They are no longer the same person who walked away or stayed silent. Life has been teaching them. Situations have been humbling them. And through it all, one truth keeps coming back to them. You. Not as a memory, not as a past connection, but as something unfinished, something real. Something they cannot replace, and that realization is becoming too strong for them to ignore anymore. You may not see it yet, you may still feel the silence. But behind that silence, everything is shifting. Conversations are forming in their mind, decisions are being made in their heart, and courage is slowly building within them. Because deep down they know they cannot stay away forever. And while all of this is happening, God is still working, still moving, still aligning every detail of your story, not loudly, not obviously, but perfectly. Because what He is about to change in you and in your connection will not just surprise others, it will leave them speechless. And what you are about to witness next is not something ordinary. It is not something that can be explained by logic or timing alone. It is the quiet unfolding of a divine shift that has been building beneath the surface of your life, layer by layer, moment by moment. Even when you thought nothing was changing, even when you felt forgotten, even when the silence felt louder than any words ever could. God has been working in the hidden places of your heart, and in the hidden places of your soulmate's heart, aligning emotions, correcting misunderstandings, softening resistance, and preparing both of you for a moment that will feel almost unreal when it arrives. Because what He is about to change in you is not just your situation. It is your entire presence, your energy, your way of loving, your way of receiving love. Stay with me. Because the transformation happening within you is the key to everything that is about to unfold between you and your person. You have started to notice it, haven't you? The way you are not reacting the same anymore. The way certain things that once hurt deeply now feel lighter, less controlling, less overwhelming. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming stronger. This is God removing emotional weight that was never meant to stay with you. And as this happens, your soulmate feels it too. Not consciously at first, but energetically. They begin to feel a shift in your absence. They begin to feel that you are no longer waiting in the same way, that you are no longer holding on to the connection with pain, but with quiet strength. And this is what begins to pull them back. Because your soulmate is starting to realize something they tried to ignore for a long time. You were never the problem. The timing was not the problem. The connection was not the problem. The only thing that stood in the way was their own fear, their own confusion, their own inability to fully accept something so real. And now that fear is being replaced. Slowly, gently, but undeniably. Because when God moves in silence, He removes what is false and strengthens what is true. And what you share, it is true. Do not leave yet, because your soulmate is getting closer to a decision they cannot avoid. There are moments now when they sit alone, and everything becomes clear to them in ways it never did before. They replay conversations. They remember how you looked at them, how you stayed patient when they were unsure, how you loved them without conditions they'd not even understand at the time. And with every memory, something inside them softens, something inside them opens, and along with that comes a quiet regret. Not heavy, not overwhelming, but deep enough to change them. Because now they see what they lost, and more importantly, what they still have a chance to return to. This is where the shift becomes powerful. Because your soulmate is no longer running from their feelings, they are facing them. And that alone changes everything. Because when Simeon stops running from love, they start moving toward it. And right now, your soulmate is being guided, step by step, closer to you, not by chance, not by impulse, but by divine direction. Stay with me, something deeper is unfolding in your love story. You may begin to notice signs around you. Small things that seem insignificant at first, but carry a deeper meaning when you pay attention. Repeating thoughts about them, dreams that feel too real to ignore. Moments where their presence feels almost physical, even when they are not there. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. Because when God is aligning two souls, He leaves signs along the way, not to confuse you, but to prepare you. And as these signs appear, something inside you begins to settle. The anxiety that once lived in your heart starts to fade. The need to control the outcome begins to disappear. And in its place comes peace. Not because you know exactly what will happen, but because your soul recognizes that something is already in motion. Something that does not need to be forced. Something that is already finding its way to you. Your soulmate feels this shift too, and it unsettles them at first, because they are used to chaos, to confusion, to uncertainty. But what they are feeling now is different. It is calm, it is clear, it is real. And that kind of feeling, it cannot be ignored for long. Do not scroll, because your soulmate's next move is already forming in silence. They are thinking about reaching out. More than you realize. More than they admit, Tonyon. They imagine what they would say. How they would start the conversation. How they would explain everything that has changed within them. And even though they hesitate, even though fear still tries to whisper doubts into their mind, something stronger is rising within them. Something that says, this time it is different. This time it matters. This time they cannot stay silent. Because what God is doing inside them is not temporary. It is not surface level. It is a deep transformation. The kind that shifts priorities. The kind that changes how someone sees love, how they value connection, how they understand what truly matters. And as this transformation completes, it naturally leads them back to you. Not out of need, but out of truth. Stay with me, because the truth about your connection is becoming undeniable. There was a purpose behind everything you went through. Every moment of confusion, every tear, every question that went unanswered. It was not meaningless. It was preparation, it was alignment, it was necessary for both of you to reach this point, where love is no longer misunderstood, where feelings are no longer hidden, where truth is no longer avoided. And now, as everything begins to come together, you will start to feel a quiet confidence arising within you. Not arrogance, not expectation, but certainty. A deep knowing that what is meant for you is not lost. It is simply being returned in a better form, in a clearer way, in a more aligned energy. Your soulmate is no longer the same, and neither are you. And that is exactly why this time, everything will be different. And as this quiet transformation continues to unfold, something even deeper begins to take place within your soulmate. Something they can no longer ignore or push aside. Something that reaches into the very core of who they are and forces them to face a truth they once tried to escape. You were never just a chapter in their life. You were always meant to be a turning point. The silence that once felt like distance is now becoming pressure inside them. Not painful, but undeniable, like a call they cannot silence anymore. like a presence that keeps returning, no matter how much they tried to distract themselves from it. God is not just reminding them of you, He is revealing you to them in a completely new light. A light that makes everything they thought they understood suddenly feel incomplete without you. Stay with me, because what is building inside your soulmate right now is about to reach a moment of release. They are beginning to feel the weight of everything left unsaid, the conversations they avoided, the emotions they suppressed, the love they felt but did not fully express. And now, those very things are rising within them all at once, creating a kind of emotional clarity they have never experienced before. It is not chaotic, it is not overwhelming, it is focused, it is direct, it is real. And with that clarity comes a realization that changes everything. They cannot move forward in their life without addressing what they still feel for you. Do not leave yet, because your soulmate is stepping into a moment that will define everything between you. There is a shift happening in their mindset. Where there was once hesitation, there is now reflection. Where there was once confusion, there is now understanding. And where there was once silence, there is now a growing urge to speak. They are starting to see that what they felt with you was not something ordinary, not something that comes and goes, but something rare, something divinely placed, something that carries purpose beyond what they can explain. And when a person realizes that, they do not forget it, they do not replace it, they are drawn back to it. At the same time, God is continuing to work within you, strengthening your heart in ways that prepare you for what is coming. You are no longer chasing answers, you are no longer seeking validation. Instead, you are becoming grounded, centered, aligned with a truth that does not depend on someone else's actions. And this is what creates the balance that your connection needed. Because love cannot return fully until both hearts are stable enough to receive it without fear, without doubt, without running away. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. There are moments now when your soulmate feels an almost overwhelming urge to reach out, as if something inside them is pushing them forward, guiding them step by step toward you. They may hesitate, they may pause, but the feeling does not leave. It returns again and again, stronger each time, clearer each time, until it becomes impossible to ignore. This is not impulse. This is alignment. This is what happens when God begins to bring two souls back into each other's path after a period of separation. You may feel this shift too, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a quiet sense of knowing. A feeling that something is about to happen. A subtle anticipation that does not come from your thoughts, but from your soul. And this feeling, it is not misleading you. It is preparing you. Because when the moment arrives, it will not feel sudden. It will feel right. Do not scroll because your soulmate's truth is about to come into the open. They are starting to accept what they once denied. That they love you. Not in a temporary way. Not in a surface-level way. But in a way that has stayed with them through everything. Through distance. Through silence. Through time itself. And with that acceptance comes courage. The kind of courage that allows someone to admit their feelings, to take a responsibility, to return and try again with a different mindset, a different heart, a different understanding. And this is where the silence finally begins to break. Not all at once, not dramatically, but in a way that feels intentional, meaningful, guided. Because when God moves, He does not create confusion. He creates clarity. He brings things together in a way that makes sense, in a way that feels natural, in a way that feels aligned with everything your heart has been waiting for. Stay with me, because your reunion energy is rising stronger than ever. Everything you have been through was leading to this point. Every delay, every pause, every unanswered question, it all served a purpose. It all shaped the connection into something deeper, something more real. Something that cannot be broken by the same things that once caused distance between you. And now, as both of you step into this new phase, you will begin to see why things had to happen the way they did. Not to hurt you, But to prepare you, your soulmate is not coming back as the same person. They are coming back changed, more aware, more open, more ready to give you the love they were not able to give before. And you are receiving them as someone who no longer doubts their worth, who no longer questions their place in this connection, who understands that what is meant for them does not need to be chased. It arrives when the time is right. And right now, that time is closer than you think. And now you are standing at the edge of something you cannot fully see yet, but you can feel it, deep within your chest, like a quiet certainty that refuses to leave, like a whisper from God that keeps repeating the same truth. This connection was never meant to end, it was only meant to transform. What has been changing inside you is not small, it is not temporary. It is something that is reshaping the way you love, the way you trust, the way you recognize what is real and what is not. And because of this inner shift, when your soulmate steps back into your life, they will not find the same version of you they left behind. They will find someone stronger, calmer, more aligned, someone who no longer questions their value, someone who carries a quiet power that cannot be shaken. Stay with me, because this is the moment where everything begins to come together. Your soulmate has reached a point where the silence is no longer comfortable. It no longer protects them. It no longer helps them avoid what they feel. Instead, it has become a mirror, showing them everything they tried to ignore, everything they tried to run from, everything they now understand, with a clarity that was not there before. They see how they pulled away. They see how they held back. They see how they let fear control something that was meant to be guided by love. And this realization, it is not breaking them, it is awakening them. Because when someone truly understands what they almost lost, they do not stay the same. Do not leave yet. Because what your soulmate is about to do carries the energy of everything they have learned in your absence. There is a moment forming, a moment where they will no longer overthink, no longer hesitate, no longer wait for the perfect timing that never seemed to come. Instead, they will move, not impulsively, not emotionally unstable, but with a quiet determination that comes from knowing what truly matters. And when they reach out, it will not feel like confusion. It will feel like truth finally finding its voice. Their words may be simple, but the energy behind them will be different. You will feel it immediately. The sincerity, the openness, the shift. At the same time, you are being prepared to receive this in a way that is completely different from before. You are no longer looking for answers from them. You are grounded in your own understanding. You are no longer trying to prove your love. You are simply being who you are. And this is what creates a new dynamic between you. Because now, the connection is no longer based on uncertainty. It is based on clarity. Stay with me, something deeper is unfolding in your love story. There is a reason why God kept everything hidden for so long. It was not to delay your happiness, it was to protect it. Because if this reunion had happened before this transformation, it would not have lasted. The same patterns would have repeated. The same misunderstandings would have returned. But now everything is different. Now both of you have seen what life feels like without each other. Now both of you understand what this connection truly means. And that understanding changes everything. You may begin to notice how your thoughts about them are no longer filled with pain. Instead, they are filled with calm, with acceptance, with a quiet knowing that whatever is meant to happen will happen at the right time. And this shift in you is exactly what allows the connection to move forward without resistance. Because when you release control, you make space for divine timing to unfold perfectly. Do not scroll, because this is where the breakthrough fully reveals itself. Your soulmate is stepping into courage. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady. They are no longer allowing fear to silence them. They are no longer letting doubt keep them away. Instead, they are choosing to face what they feel, to express what they have been holding inside, to take a step toward you even if they do not know exactly how everything will unfold. And that step, it changes everything. Because one moment of truth can undo months of silence. One honest expression can reopen a connection that never truly closed. And when this happens, you will see the difference. Not just in what they say, but in how they say it. In how they show up. In how they listen. In how they value you. Because this time, they are not coming from confusion. They are coming from understanding. Stay with me, because your reunion energy is now undeniable. God has been guiding this connection from the very beginning. Even when it did not feel like it. Even when everything seemed uncertain. Even when the silence made you question everything. But now you are about to see why none of it was wasted. Every moment had a purpose. Every delay had meaning. Every lesson was necessary. Because it brought both of you to this exact point. Where love is no longer hidden. Where truth is no longer avoided. Where the connection can finally move forward in the way it was always meant to. Your soulmate misses you. Not just in passing moments, not just in memory, but in a way that has stayed with them. In a way that has grown stronger with time. In a way that they can no longer deny. And now that feeling is turning into action. That longing is turning into movement. That silence is turning into expression. And as all of this comes together, you will realize something that changes everything within you. This was never a lost connection, it was a guided one. A connection that was meant to pause, to grow, to transform, and then return stronger than before. And this is your confirmation. It is already on its way. Rest in faith. It is done.